I'm here, chat. Let's get the morality test, man.
Your plan to set up your friend Carrie with your acquaintance Emerson is finally coming together. Both individuals have heard.
We did it in high school. I don't know what. Okay, I did it in secondary school. What you guys call high school, I think. But I'm not sure. I was setting one friend up for one friend to date because I don't know.
All about each other.
Wait, what use? We had nothing to gain inside, but we did it still.
And they're eager to meet for dinner. You've just made them a reservation for Friday night, and you're about to text Carrie the details when an unsettling thought crosses your mind. Carrie is always late. And not just by 5 minutes. We're talking 20 or even 30 minutes.
Oh.
It's late. Carrie seems to view punctuality as an oppressive relic of an earlier era. But what if you told them dinner was at 6 instead of 6:30? That way they would almost certainly arrive on time.
Yeah, perfect.
You really want this relationship to work, so should you lie?
Yes!
Take a moment to think, what would you do? Maybe you should lie. You think this new relationship could be great for Carrie, and you don't want them to ruin it before it's even begun. Sure, Emerson may eventually learn about their chronic lateness, but if Carrie shows up on time just this once, the relationship will at least have a chance to take root. Your lie would pave the way for a potentially happy relationship. And if taking an action...
Chat, I will lie, and once they start dating, it's his problem now. Simple.
...will create a better outcome for everyone involved, that's normally a pretty good reason to take it. But isn't it morally wrong to lie? The absolutist position on...
Yeah, it's morally wrong to lie, but we all lie, bro.
...on lying, associated with German philosopher Immanuel Kant, holds that lying is...
Immanuel Kant. Wait, Immanuel Kant.
Immanuel Kant.
Wait. Child, Immanuel Kant is for real. Wait, how will I give birth to a child and name him Kant? Immanuel Kant. Oh, this kind of Immanuel. Wait, Kant. Kant. I thought it was Immanuel Kant. I was like, you name a child, you give birth to a child and name it Kant.
Holds that lying is always immoral, regardless of the circumstances. In other words, there's a moral rule which forbids lying, and that rule is absolute. You might think, though, that this stance overstates the moral importance of lying. Suppose a murderer were hunting Carrie down. If the killer asked you about Carrie's whereabouts, it seems odd to say that you must tell the truth at the cost of your friend's life. From this perspective, absolutism seems too rigid. By contrast, utilitarian philosopher...
Yeah, but the thing is that no one is asking to kill Carrie. Oh, don't make it sound serious. It's just one small lie.
John Stuart Mill would say lying is wrong only when it leads to less happiness overall. Now, to be fair, most lies do seem likely to create unhappiness. Someone who accepts a lie believes something which is false, and trying to conduct your life on the basis of false information doesn't usually go well. However, in some circumstances, perhaps including your situation, lying might produce more happiness overall. In those cases, utilitarians say it's not morally wrong to lie. In fact, it might even be your moral duty to do so. But if absolutism seems too extreme, you might feel this stance is too lax. In other words, perhaps the utilitarian position understates the moral significance of lying. Most people generally feel some regret about lying, even when they believe it's the right thing to do. This suggests there's something inherently objectionable about lying, even when it leads to more happiness.
Bro, just steady lie, bro.
In this case, lying to Carrie would be an instance of paternalism. Paternalism is interfering with another person's choices for that person's benefit. This might be fine if that person is a literal child, but it seems disrespectful to treat a peer paternalistically.
Oh.
Lying to Carrie would mean taking away their opportunity to handle the situation as they see fit.
But she can't handle the situation. That's the problem. She's not punctual. So just like,
based on their own beliefs and values. Trying to protect Carrie from what you consider to be a bad choice would show a lack of respect for their autonomy. By extension, it might also be disrespectful towards Emerson, since
okay.
you would be deliberately trying to give him a false impression of Carrie.
When they start dating is no more your problem. So that's forcing now. What was his name? That's his own problem now.
Carrie's punctuality. So how do you weigh potential happiness against guaranteed disrespect? Followers of Kant would say treating others with respect is the heart of moral conduct, while followers of Mill would say nothing is more important than happiness. But other philosophers believe that such conflicts can only be resolved on a case-by-case basis, depending on various details and on the individuals involved. So what will you do in Carrie's case?
Lie.
Keep testing your decision-making skills with another classic ethical dilemma. Two ships have set...
Wait, would I say who?
You are the captain of the Mallory 7, an interstellar cargo transport. On your way to the New Lindley spaceport, you receive a distress call. There's been an explosion on the Telic 12, and its passengers are running out of oxygen. As you set a course to intercept, you check the Telic 12's manifest. It's currently transporting 30 middle-aged individuals from some of Earth's poorest districts to the labor center on New Lindley, where they'll be assigned jobs on the spaceport. But as you approach the Telic 12, you receive a second distress call. A luxury space cruiser called the Perito has lost a thruster, sending them careening towards an asteroid belt. Without your help, the 20 college students headed for vacation aboard the Perito are all doomed.
Oh.
So, with only enough time to save one ship, which one should you choose?
First of all, you see, one thing with rich ass people, they have lived a lot of life, lavish life that I won't weird, sometimes freaky, weird fetish, British, sweet life. So, if they die, it's not a bad choice I made, because they are rich, they have flown, they have did this, they have had 3-some, 4-some, 6-some, they have ride the most expensive jets, done the most expensive thing. So letting them die is not a bad thing. In all sense, I'm going for the students.
This dilemma is an example of a broader class of problems where a life-saving resource, such as a donated organ or vaccine, is scarce. There are many schools of thought on how to approach these problems, and one of the most influential is utilitarianism, an ethical view first systematically developed by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. In this view, you should choose the action which promises the greatest sum of happiness, though how to define and measure happiness is a difficult question. For example, hedonists would suggest a happy life contains the most pleasure and the least pain. Others might say it's the life where your desires are most fulfilled. However happiness is defined, most would agree that saving 30 lives has the potential to generate more happiness than saving 20.
Bro, I don't even care about the number of people, okay? I just care about saving the students.
But is it enough to consider how many lives would be saved? Or should you also consider how many life years would be? Assuming a life expectancy of 80, saving the lives of the students with an average age of 20 saves 1,200 life years.
Yes!
While saving the workers with an average age of 45 saves 1,000.
Just no, look at who you want to save. Bro is even tired of life himself.
50. All things being equal, a longer life should promise a greater sum of happiness than a shorter one. So perhaps saving the smaller ship actually has the potential to generate the most happiness. If all these calculations feel a bit cold, you may want to consider a different approach.
Wait.
The philosopher Derek Parfit argues we should give priority to the worse off, since benefits to those...
Wait, I thought you said luxury people. I thought you said.
But as you approach the Telic 12, you receive a second distress call. A luxury space cruiser called the Perito has lost a thruster,
Yeah,
sending
luxury
them
people.
careening towards an asteroid belt.
Then luxury people. Then why are you showing broke ass people?
Equivalent benefits to the well-off. It matter more than equivalent benefits to the well-off. In this view, it's more urgent to help those whose basic needs aren't met, even if they're harder to help than those who are flourishing. But often determining which group.
Bro, I don't care. I'm not saving the luxury people for nothing. Bro, I'm not saving the luxury lifestyle, white lifestyle people for nothing, bro. They have lived the life to the fullest, bro. They have done a lot of things, bro. They have made a lot of money their time, so it's not a bad thing to let them die.
Is truly worse off can get complicated fast. In our case, Earth is still beset by drastic inequalities in wealth and opportunity. And those able to afford a vacation on New Lindley and transport on a luxury cruiser are no doubt among the most well-off people on the planet. The workers, by contrast, are among the most disadvantaged, traveling away from home for months at a time to perform service work. With fewer.
Oh, the broke ass people are working for the luxury people. I better scale with this one, chat. Look, listen. The broke ass people are tired of life, are not interested in life, are depressed, are sad, anxiety, PTSD, autism, everything on them. Saving them is like punishing them the more, I guess. So, but the students, brighter future, more years expectant, more research, more students, more cheerleaders. I'm saving the students, bro. The broke ass people and the rich ass people. The rich ass people, I'm only saving you. I'm not saving you because you've already lived your life to the fullest. And the broke ass people is already tired of life. Bro, just look at this dude. He's tired of life, bro. So I'm saving the students. I still stay strong with my answer.
Resources and opportunities, it's likely they've experienced more hardship in their lives than the vacationers. So maybe they're more deserving of rescue?
No! It's more punishment for them, bro. Saving them won't give them $1 million, bro. Saving them is just giving them more stress, more things to think of, more depression, more PTSD, HTSD, HIV, and everything, bro.
On the other hand, the students have experienced less life overall, so perhaps they're
So save the students.
worse off. Or maybe none of these variables should influence our decision. The philosopher
Nah, it should influence our decision. It should.
John Turek famously argued that in these types of cases, the numbers don't count. Each
Yeah, I said it before. The numbers doesn't count.
person is deserving of equal concern and respect. So
Yes, that's why I say the students have more life ahead of them.
the best way to decide which passengers to save is to flip a coin.
I'm not flipping no coin.
While this might seem arbitrary at first, this approach treats all parties equally, giving each individual an equal chance of being rescued. Could any passenger argue that they're being treated unfairly by a coin flip? It's
Yes.
tough to say, but how they and you feel about the result may be another dilemma altogether. Start practicing for tough decisions using these 5 tips to improve your critical thinking. Or
participate at the Africa Technology Expo coming to Lagos, Nigeria this June.
Wait, stay on one. Oh boy, one view.
A few years ago, you founded a company that manufactures meatless burgers. Your product is now sold in stores worldwide, but you've recently received awful news. 3 unrelated people in one city died after eating your burgers. The police concluded that a criminal targeted your brand, injecting poison into your product in at least 2 grocery stores.
Ooh.
The culprit used an ultra-fine instrument that left no trace on the packaging, making it
Wow.
impossible to determine which products were compromised. Your burgers were immediately removed from the 2 stores where the victims bought them. The deaths are headline news. The killer is still at large, and sales have plummeted.
Wow.
You must quickly develop a strategy To deal with the crisis, your team comes up with 3 options.
Bro, this is about to be a tough one.
1. Do nothing. 2. Pull the products from grocery stores citywide and destroy them. Or 3. Pull and destroy the product worldwide.
Wait, worldwide, bro. Bro, I was about to go for 2. No, definitely I will do something. So 1 is not an option. 3 or 2. Like, although I've made maybe some money to keep me going, so was I why? I think pulling out from the grocery store is more because the grocery in that city is only happening in the city, so worldwide is not that necessary. So I'm going for 2 since it's only happening in America, because I know definitely it's America. America does something like that a lot. So I'm going for 2. Worldwide, I won't let the kids starve in Africa because of the United States. I'm right? I won't let the kid in India starve because of what is happening in Washington. So I'll go for 2. Just pull it out from the city, not worldwide.
Which do you choose? Your company lawyer explains that a recall is not required by law because the criminal is fully responsible. She
Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm going for 2.
recommends the first option, doing nothing, because
No. Maybe your burger is like Beast Burger, so delicious, but I haven't tasted it. Maybe it's like Beast Burger. Everybody wants to get some, and definitely sales increases and more people will die if you do nothing because everybody wants that Beast Burger. So doing nothing, I know it's not your fault. I know it has nothing to do with you, but bro, everybody love your products, so you have to do something, or you lose people.
recalling the product could look like an admission of fault. But is that the most ethical strategy? To gauge the ethicality of each choice, you could perform a stakeholder analysis. This would allow you to weigh the interests of some key stakeholders, investors, employees, and customers, against one another. With the first option, your advisors project that the crisis will eventually blow over. Sales will then improve but probably stay below prior levels because of damage to the brand. As a result, you'll have to lay off some employees, and investors will suffer minor losses. But more customers could die if the killer poisoned packages elsewhere.
Elsewhere. What do you mean elsewhere?
The second
Nah, you're not allowed to say elsewhere. You're just allowed to say one city.
option is expensive in the short term and will
Yeah, I know it's expensive, but you just have to go for 2.
require greater employee layoffs and additional financial loss to investors. But this option is safer for customers in the city
Yeah.
and could create enough trust that sales will eventually rebound.
Woo! I didn't even know of this, but I make the best decision ever.
The third option is the most expensive in the short term
Nah, third option is not an option, bro.
and will require significant employee layoffs and investor losses.
You see, I can't stab the kids in Africa and make people unemployed because of New York. No.
Though you have no evidence that these crimes are an international threat,
Yes, it's just in the city, bro.
this option provides the greatest customer protection. Given the conflict between the interests of your customers versus those of your investors and employees, which strategy is the most ethical?
2.
To make this decision, you could consider these tests. First is the utilitarian test. Utilitarianism is a philosophy concerned with maximizing the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. What would be the impact of each option on these terms? Second is the family test. How would you feel explaining your decision to your family?
I saved life.
Third is the newspaper test. How would you feel reading about it on the front page of
I saved life in New York.
the local newspaper? And finally, you could use the mentor test. If someone you admire were making this decision, what would they do? Johnson
Is his choice?
& Johnson's CEO, James Burke, faced a similar challenge in
Buck. Bro, Buck.
1982 after a criminal added the poison cyanide to bottles.
I said this. Yeah, I've seen this story before. Things happen in America, bro. Yeah, okay. You guys might look like Zanaso is mentioned America, is mentioned American, bro. I know what I'm saying.
Of Tylenol in Chicago. 7 people died.
Oh, Chicago, not New York.
And sales dropped. Industry analysts said the company was done for. In response, Burke decided to pull Tylenol from all shelves worldwide, citing customer safety as the company's highest priority. Johnson & Johnson recalled and destroyed an estimated 32 million bottles of Tylenol,
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that.
valued at $250 million
Okay, I'm not doing that.
in today's dollars. 1.5 million of the recalled bottles were tested, and 3 of them, all from the Chicago area, were found to contain cyanide. Burke's decision helped the company regain the trust of its customers, and product sales rebounded within a year. Prompted by the Tylenol murders, Johnson & Johnson became a leader in developing tamper-resistant packaging, and the government instituted stricter regulations. The killer, meanwhile, was never caught.
Woo.
Burke's decision
Bro went scot-free, bro.
prevented further deaths from the initial poisoning, but the federal government investigated hundreds of copycat tampering incidents involving other products in the following weeks. Could these have been prevented with a different response? Was Burke acting in the interest of the public or of his company? Was this good ethics or good marketing? As with all ethical
I don't know, it's saving life, bro.
dilemmas, this has no clear right or wrong answer. And for your meatless burger empire, the choice remains yours. Would you
Chai, this should be the last one.
It's the 4th century BCE, and Aristotle has just written a critique of arguments that take the truth of their conclusion for granted. It's still the 4th century BCE. Aristotle has just advanced a new theory, that because Earth is the center of the universe, humanity is alone in the universe. It's 1990, and a federal district court of Virginia is about to hear a prospective student's case against a university. She has filed a complaint about Virginia Military Institute's admissions policy that excludes. VMI is a publicly funded university that aims to produce citizen soldiers through a unique and rigorous method. All students are subjected to an identical regimen of extreme physical and mental stress and deprivation of privacy.
Well, I'm certainly not sorry to be excluded.
VMI is the only single-sex public university in the state of Virginia. There is no equivalent institution for women. Because VMI is a government institution, by law, it cannot practice gender-based exclusion without exceedingly persuasive justification. It must prove that its single-sex admissions policy is a necessary step to serving important governmental objectives. The state of Virginia argues that VMI's educational method
For Virginia. Virginia doesn't want females. Because for the own females' safety of not losing their virginity in Virginia high school.
would be compromised by admitting women. The state claims single-sex education is an important governmental objective, and that the exclusion of women from VMI is essential to that objective.